we have almost 10 years experiment how to run this kind of method, and at the moment it's running very well, but of course we have had a lot of challenges during this trip, but at the moment it's running very nice. Also, the theoretical background of this method is innovation pedagogy, like in learning by teaching method. And this innovation pedagogy, it is our pedagogical strategy of our university. I do not have enough time to introduce more about this innovation pedagogy, but if you are interested about this kind of learning and teaching approaches, please learn more from our websites. So there is the context of this project Hatchery. It is like a first step in the students' Hatchery part. This project Hatchery is a mandatory study course for every our students in our faculty. So I'm coming from the Faculty of Technology, Environment and Business. And every year 500 new students will start studies in our faculty, and they will start with this project Hatchery concept. And after this project Hatchery, when the study years are going further and they learn or they knowledge, study specific knowledge is increasing, there are more advanced hatcheries. And of course the topics of these hatcheries are more advanced. But these other hatcheries are optional courses. So in the end of the project Hatchery, students are able to choose, do they really want to continue studying in hatcheries? So like I said, this project Hatchery, it is a first step in the hatchery path. So the goal of this course are very basic things of the learning outcomes. And all these learning outcomes are soft skills, not linked to the study-specific knowledge. So this course trains students to exploratory and independent working methods. Student learns basics from project working and project skills. They learn to work in multidisciplinary teams. They get to know students from other disciplines. They increase their innovation competencies, build networks needed in working life and in student life as well, and increase presentation and interaction skills. And in addition to these soft skills, the aim of this course is also to increase communality of our faculty. Yes, like I said, we have 500 new students starting their studies every autumn. We are very multidisciplinary faculty or campus. We have 9 different degrees. We have students from sales, we have students from design and different fields of engineers. So this multidisciplinary or this diversity of different degrees enables a great multidisciplinary learning environment for our students. So it is a very good opportunity to us to utilize our different degree programs. And how we implement this project Hatchery concept. So a multidisciplinary group of first-year students, they are working together to reach a goal. The study unit begins right after first autumn term has started and it ends in the December. And it is 5 credits in total. All our 500 students are divided in groups, and there will be about 10 to 15 students every group. And every group will have one teacher tutor and one student tutor, who is the second year student. And each group will work on project, and these are real assignments. Assignments are coming from local companies. They are coming from different kind of organizations, our research and development project, or inside our faculty. There could be several projects. For example, some group could be make some kind of research or marketing plan for company. Some group could, for example, plan and organize some event for research and development project, or for the faculty example. So many different kind of projects are running every autumn in our faculty. They are not related to the student subject degree. And the study unit contains both student independent work and weekly contact lessons every Wednesday. But what is the main thing here, the key element, that every group are allowed to choose their working methods freely. And here you can see the execution, the project Hatchery study unit. So I'm the coordinator and developing whole this context. Under me there is about 10 to 15 teacher students, which I'm coordinating and guiding and coaching whole this autumn. Every teacher has 4 student tutors, and teacher's role is to guide and support and coach these student tutors who are leading the project Hatchery groups. So we have about 40 to 50 student tutors who are leading project hatcheries, and in total in project hatcheries there are about 500 students who are participating this concept every year. So it is huge concept to running out and coordinate. And there is the schedule, the perspective of students. So in the end of the August or beginning of September, they will start this project Hatchery. There are first initial meeting and introductory lecturing. Students have to grouping and make teaming by themselves or guided by student tutor. In September, they are choosing the project manager and forming the smaller groups and different responsibilities in the group. It based on the project or assignment. And of course, they have to familiarize on this concept. And during the project, what they are running out, every hatchery has to do project plan, and they have to participate in theory workshops, and they have some individual or personal reports during the autumn. And also we have few common events during the autumn. There are poster show and competition of presentation, where all the students have to present result of their projects. And in the end of the project, the important role is assessment, which is based on peer, self and teacher and student tutor assessments, and also feedback session with the client and with the group and with the teacher and tutors and so on. And there is the schedule for the student tutors and teachers. So every year we start in January, we have a developing day, a workshop, where we develop and plan practices for the next year. The student tutors and teachers are participating in that workshop. After that, I start to recruit new student tutors, and in the March to August they have intensive trainings for new student tutors and teachers, and they orientated this guiding work. And this September to December, when the hatcheries are running, the student tutors and teachers have regular meetings. We are calling counseling sessions 2 times in month, and we have teachers meeting 1 a month, and Also, we are closing. We have a closure or reflection session in the end of the course, where we sharing what we have learned during the autumn, and also the tutor students will get certificates on their work. So student tutors are also acting as a student tutor. They are also doing a one study course, and it's called leading a group, and they are getting 5 credits on that. So there is a theory about group dynamic behavior, motivation and leadership, and then they have to apply this theory on the practice in their own hatchery, and they have to lead own hatchery, hold this project hatchery course. And because I'm the coordinator of this whole set, I will coach the teachers, and I coach the student tutors, and I'm also one of the teacher in the project hatchery. So there are my golden tips for the project hatchery working. What is the key elements in this method? So the first thing, I think it is to trust your students that they can do it. You really have to trust them and give responsibility for the students. And for me, I have to learn not to infer everything, just trust others. And it's very a key thing that you learn from or get the power from peer support. Use that. Commonly agreed practices support this whole set to running this huge concept. And I have noticed your own interest and attitude are showing to other. So it will be carries far if you are motivated student, and student in hatcheries are motivated as well. And just give opportunity to or it's every person makes the guiding of his own personality. So you have also trust student tutors and teachers that they are doing the hatchery counseling by their own personality. So thank you. That was the short presentation about project hatchery concept in Turku University, and now I will give floor to my Indonesian colleagues who have applied this method in their university.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice presentation, Ms. Miyu. You have clearly explained how the concept should be conducted, complete with the time schedule and the act and responsibility of teachers, tutors, and students within the concept. Several tips are also given, which I think will be useful for the application for our Indonesian partners. And I understand that as the end result, this concept also improved the soft skill of students through group work and multidisciplinary learning environment. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 Indonesian university partners which already implement this method. They are Syekh Kuala University from Nangro Aceh Darussalam Province and Binus University International Jakarta. To see how they adopt this concept in their university, I would like to call our second presenter, Mr. Agus Arif Munawar. May I firstly introduce Mr. Agus Arif Munawar as our second presenter. He is a lecturer at Universitas Syekh Kuala Nanggroe Aceh Darussalam, Indonesia. He has several research interests, which are artificial intelligence in agriculture, the application of a rapid and non-destructive method in predicting quality attributes, modeling and simulation, automatic control applications, and robotics in agriculture. His current research project in 2015 is designing and developing a portable sensor device based on near-infrared technology to determine inner quality attributes of intact cocoa beans. Now, may I call Mr. Agus Arif Munawar to give your presentation. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. So this is a current project of our project hatchery application that we are applied in electronic course. This is a mandatory course which is supervised from Finland to with Harry and Mayu. So I think I would like to start with course of course profiles. So the course is name of the course is electronics. This is a mandatory course, and the number of participants is 64 students, mainly for the fifth semester or third grade of the bachelor degree. And their number of teachers is 3, and the number of jury is 8. So we divide 64 students into 8 groups, and each group has been tutored with 5 student tutors who have already taken this course last or previous years. And for the industry partner, as a stakeholder, we have Sokolate, which is running with the cacao processing, cacao bean processing in Banda Aceh, and the PIC Mr. Iwan Ibrahim. So actually the main task of these hatcheries is they try to solve the problems related to electronic applications, mainly for cocoa processing, and they are um, divided into 8 hatcheries as I mentioned before, and they have to to solve the problem in our respective partner. So I think this is how actually the hatchery that we are already applied, the project hatchery that we are already applied in this electronic course is probably different with not not actually the same thing, but we have tried to apply the hatchery concept from Turku, Finland, as close as they are, but in our own ways. So mm, we have still lecturing or teaching from teachers, yet we are now reducing the number of lecturing because we would like to eager the student more active. So this is one of the documents that how the hatchery discussion and supervision with the teachers, and this is the recent updates and the result. So this is only the example that the hatchery of this hatchery has been already developed. We are develop the electronic sensors that can be used to determine the water content or fermentation levels of intercocoa beans. So mainly when we would like to test um, the cocoa bean or other agricultural products uh, inner quality attributes, we have to perform it in the laboratory with the standard procedure. Then we came up with this project hatcheries. The student try to bypass this standard laboratory method by developing or designing the electronic sensors that can be used to predict the inner quality inside of this product without going to the lab or without distracting the object. So this is the example of the hatchery result of one of this hatchery already developed this instrument, and this is how it look like. So it's only an example the result, and this is the result. So what I would like to share also in here that uh, what we are learning. So the student, after we applied this hatchery concept to this course, they are now eager or confident to solve the other daily problems using this electronic course. For example, there is competition for innovation instruments that are available in our university. So the students tend to um, to compete, or they are eager to apply this competition, and by joining this competition, and also they also try to solve the main problem in this our respective partners by defining the electronic application on that things. Also, one thing that we learned from this hatchery concept that we are already applied, the students are also they give we give them the trust or the belief to evaluate between hatcheries. So that for example, the third hatcheries has been evaluated by the other hatcheries and so forth. For the individual assessment, we still make a focus group discussion for each hatchery, and we ask personally during discussion to the students to individual student in these groups. So I think that's all what we are already applied in this course, and we plan to apply uh, this project hatchery to become a research hatchery in this same course, but same student but a different course. So the electronic advanced electronics. So I thank you for the time for me, and thank you for your kind support.
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, Mr. Agus from University of Syah Kuala Aceh. Your project implementation is very interesting, and I believe the experience you shared in this session will inspire also other educators who participated in this webinar session. It is also good to see that the hatchery concept has improved the confidence of your students to join electronic competition after following the course. And for the next implementation, last presenter for this session, may I call Mr. Hendrik Kombro from Venus University, Jakarta, Indonesia. He introduced himself as design thinker, passionate educator, lean strategist, learn strategist, startup enthusiast, and of course, grateful believer. Mr. Hendrik, you may have the floor, please. I'm sorry, Mr. Hendrik, we cannot hear your audio.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Hello,
okay, now, yeah, we can hear you clearly now.
Okay, good afternoon from rainy Jakarta. So now I would like to share a bit more experience, more about our story, because at the first and second speaker, I think they already explained about the idea of Project Hatchery. Because I think in our campus, Venus University International, we already passed 3 years implementing this Project Hatchery. So we would like to give some conclusion based on this 3 years experience. So in our implementation experience, we start from 2014 until now we are starting again in 2017. This is the fourth theme that we have in each year. The first theme in 2014, I think, is very simple, just start. Why? Because we know implementing a new method is not easy. And then we have so many thoughts, we have so many consideration, and what we need to do is just start. We run it and learning by doing. That's how we start. And then in 2015, we start to realize that we cannot copy 100% from Turku. What has happened there and to our campus. So we start to set up our own pace. As I know that in Turku they focus on preparing the students for working life, but in here we are focusing more on innovation and entrepreneurship. So basically in 2015 we realized that one, and then in 2016 we tried to create a community. Why? Because we realized that it's not about only method, but how we create a community, because it's about the culture. We find out that innovation is not about a product or output of a course, but it's a culture. And then, of course, in 2017, we're trying to show the result. Why we are not showing a result at the first time? Because we want to build it one by one. We want to build state by state, as I will explain later on. So if we ask ourselves how to implement Project Hatchery, sometimes we are misleading to only learning method. As we also visiting Finland, we get so many insights there. One of the insights is it is not about learning method, but it is about learning ecosystem. How we prepare the ecosystem so the method can easily running well in the class and for all students. And to get there, I would like to share that first, we are very happy that we get the management commitment. Why? When we get the team, the core team already there, the management give us like the facility to meet together. So this is one of the picture, we call it 3D Cafe. We are planning to have meeting with all of our facilitator here, all of stakeholder. So we have discussion because we want to test the water first. This is also our creative facilities that given by the campus. We're trying to make it as fun as possible, so the students will buy in with the idea. And also we go to the creative toolkits. We are trying to tangibilize all the creative things, which is going to innovation and entrepreneurship later on. And after that, after the infrastructure is settled, we are trying to connect with the industry. We are trying to brainstorm with the local corporation, trying to understand what is their expectation of our alumni, our graduates, and after several time meeting them, we start to realize and customize the Project Hatchery for our own taste. And then we also go to all head of programs, because in BINUS International we have 9 programs. It's very various, from business international, and then accounting, marketing, fashion, design, graphic, and then computer science, information system, and hotel tourism management, even film. So this is the multidisciplinary programs that we mix. So we need to align with all the head of programs. And in this way, this is one of the learning ecosystem that I mentioned before. We have to get the buy-in from industry, from our internal, and everywhere. And also, after setting up all the infrastructure, the buy-in from the management, we go deeper to the next stage, which is preparing our facilitators. We realized that our facilitator has to be a skilled facilitator. Unless Project Hatchery is not that easy to implement. So we prepare a facilitation skill development workshop. We try to let them experience each process in the class, so they can internalize, they can feel it by themselves. Even we do like some experiential learning. This is learning about baking a cake. So they got to understand that teaching how to make a cake is not as easy as making the real cake. So by experiencing this, we try to shift our lecturer mindset from a lecturer to a facilitator. That's going to be a very basic way for us to successfully implementing Project Hatchery. And also we try to play games and have fun with our facilitator first. And even we try to get the chemistry and the community. So when everything is get the bonding, then it becomes more easy for us to get to the next stage. The next stage is we are preparing our facilitator assistant community. So we collecting some recommended students. We try to train and get them in the workshop, bring them to the same page that it is a different mindset, different kind of course when the soft skill is more important rather than the hard skill. So we try to make sure they get the idea and we train every of them. And by the result, this is how it looks like in our in-class experiences. We found that the students feels happy because we have prepared the facilitator and facilitator assistant well previously. This is the picture when they draw together without any discussion at the first time to get their idea out of that team. And even at the end, this team create a film about their teamwork, and I think that's aligned with what Project Hatchery means, that to nurture teamwork, innovation, competencies, and behavior. And also this is the out-of-class experiences. We try to push our students also to go out and talk to people outside, to get to empathy with them, to understand how to finish their project in the human-centered design. And this is the at the end, we try to let them show and present all their works. They create a presentation differently. Usually they use slides, but in here we're trying to let them not only utilize a slides, presentation slide, but also a paper, something more hands-on. And even they create a prototype there. And actually, this Wednesday we will have a exhibition, Smart Creative Exhibition we call it, and maybe for another occasion I can share with you about the result of our Project Hatchery. But at the moment we have not the documentary yet. So as the lesson learned from us, we can see that there's 5 learning ecosystem that has to be managed or established first before we go to the Project Hatchery as a method. First is the management commitment from especially from our rector or leader, and then the skilled facilitator community. We said community because community is more sustainable than only trained facilitator and on. And then the third is skilled facilitator assistant community. The fourth is supporting facilities, the place or the toolbox, toolkit, and so on. And at the end, how we keep iterate and learn. Because year by year, we realize new learning, we change a bit and we adjust it, align it with every other part. And that's what makes keep moving in the implementation. And we find out that Project Hatchery is a very unique method. Why? Because they give so much flexibility for us to adjust, for us to customize, so it is become relevant for our context. And yeah, I think that's what I can share, and looking forward to have further discussion with all of us here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Hendrik. Yeah, it was indeed very interesting for me personally and also to all participants. It was interesting to see how you make the 3D cafe for the students to work on this method and how you involve the alumni and graduates to be involved as industry in this project. Yeah. You also find that this hatchery project is give you much flexibility to adjust as well as to be relevant to the need of your class, yeah, or your university. Now, after all the three presenters give their presentation, we come to the question and answer session. We still have around 20 minutes here for this question and answer session. For the first question, may I read from the chat box here from Darum Budiarto? He said that in student tutor method, I have a problem to choose some student to be a student tutor because sometimes they are not have enough ability to explain the subject. Okay, I think this question is assigned to all the three speakers. Maybe Miss Mayu, can you give the answer? I repeat, the question is, in student tutor method, I have a problem to choose some student to be a student tutor because sometimes they are not have enough ability to explain the subject. Can you please provide the answer for this question, please?
Yes, thank you for the questions. Yeah, well, in our case, how we are implementing Project Hatchery and how we are training student tutors, the rule is that our student tutor can't participate in the project. They do not have to know anything about the subject of the project. Their role is just guide and support and manage and leading the group. So they are focusing on leadership and how to lead in a social perspective. So they are not taking part on the subject, and it is the rule for student tutors because the goal of the Project Hatchery is that the first year students, they have to find the solution, they have to find the information what is needed in their project. But of course in here it's very important to train our tutors because we started it only a few years ago, and now we have seen a lot of changing in our result in positive way, that student tutors really need training to their work. But I'm not sure, maybe August could tell more about your student tutor recruiting, because your project Hatchery is related to the subject specific field.
Yeah. Thank you. So for my case, I select the student tutors based on the experience what I already performed. The student tutors I selected based on for the student who has already taken this course previously. So, for example, students are eligible to become student tutors are who has already taken this course, and then they also fulfill at least we have already tested them whether they are qualified or not. So I think for my case, maybe it's different with the guideline from Mayu, but we yes for the general the student tutors did not actually involved in this project hatchery. So the student tutors are only guide or give the supervision to the hatcheries. So the student tutor have lead at least 2 hatcheries, and they will try to help or to guide them what they should uh, do for the hatchery itself. I think so for my case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pa Agus and Miss Mayu. Maybe from Pinus, would you like to add some answer to furnish the answer from the other presenter, please, Pak Hendrik?
Yeah. Okay. So if I can repeat the question is how to select the facilitator assistant, right? So what we see is first the first criteria is to have open-minded students who willing to learn, because we know that they are gonna go to something that is unknown, something new, a new mindset, a new culture. And then the second is to have constructive students, because we find out there's two kinds of students. The first is the one who always keeps skeptical, always keep seeing from the negative sides, and it's gonna drain our energy very much. So we really appreciate if we find out students that having the second characteristic, that is constructive, and they really appreciate what we are doing, and they know they sincere to help other students also. So I think that's open-minded and having constructive mindset is the two of the most important criteria to have a facilitator assistant or facilitator assistant. Okay, thank you. That's from us.
And can I add something? Can I add something?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yes. So because this leading a group is optional study for student tutors, so they are really motivated because this is optional study. But I also want to remind you that in our case it is also learning opportunity to our student tutors, so they are learning during they are guiding, so it's learning opportunity to them and make mistakes and learn from mistakes as well.
Okay, thank you very much for all the three presenters. Mr. Darum Budiarto, your question have been answered by all the three presenters. Yeah, hopefully it will give you good understanding on the concept. Yeah. And for the next question, I would like to invite Mr. Osepianto, if you could activate your audio and ask directly to the three presenter or one of them. Please, Pak Osep. Pak Osep, can you hear me? Pak Osepianto?
1, 2, 3, kedengaran Bu?
Yes, Pak Osep, you can ask directly to one or all presenters.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I am Osep. Directly to Miss Mayu, maybe. My question is about which one is the most difficult.
Can you please raise your voice, Mr. Osep?
All right. Test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Test.
Okay,
Is it
please.
all right?
Yeah, now it's good.
All right. Thank you. So my question is to Miss Mayu. Which part is the most difficult in the process of the schedule in Hatchery project? In intensive training process?
Okay, Miss Mayu, if I can repeat Mr. Osep's question, which part that is the most difficult in the process on your schedule of the hatchery project? Was it in intensive training process?
Thank you for the question. Well, I have different roles in this concept. I'm leading the teachers and I'm coaching the student tutors, and I'm also one of the teacher in the hatchery. But if I think this question perspective of student in these hatcheries, the first year students, the most difficulties part of the process is the starting point. When they start their studies and they start their project, they are very shocked. They do not understand what is going on because the role of the be as a different role as a student, and the role of the teacher is totally different comparing to the other earlier studies. So the first month is a shock month, and they start to figuring out how to running this project. So I think that it is the most difficult part of this process as perspective of students in hatcheries, but it's also for challenging for teachers, because as a teacher or as a student tutor, you just have to motivate and guide and give support during this phase. When the first year students start to trust by themselves and start running with the project. But yes, I think that the first month in the beginning of the project is starting is the most hardest part.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Meiju. Pa Osep, I hope the answer from Ms. Meiju already can give you a clearer perspective, yeah, on your question. Now, I have come to the next question from Mr. Fauzi Kosasi. The question is asked to Mr. Heinrich from BINUS. What are the challenges should other people who are interested to do the same project focus on to solve during the process? Can you please, Pak Hendrik?
Yeah, okay. So thank you for the questions, Pak Fauzi. So I think the challenge is more like I have explained in the presentation. It is not about the method that is challenging. Although yes, we have to get the facilitation skill very well before we start the method. But the learning ecosystem, especially the community, the chemistry that they will have. Because as I remember from our visitation to Finland also, at the end of our visitation, we get one conclusion. That is trust to our to our students, trust to our facilitator becomes the main ingredient for us to overcome all the challenges. Because I believe the challenges will be different, will change every time. But when you have the trust, you have the community. That's why from the beginning I highly recommend that we create a community of facilitator, a community for assistant, and of course commitment from the management. So with this, we can overcome all the challenges. Because if we are asking about the list of the challenges from 3 years, I can say that it is too much challenging from the technical side until the non-technical side. So yeah, I hope it can answer the questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Hendrik, for the answer. Next, this is, I think, the last question from Nur Hamimah to Miss Miyu, but I think also Mr. Agus can give answer to this question. Can you please give the example of hatchery project team for chemistry in senior high school students? Thanks. Okay, Miss Miyu or Mr. Agus, please.
Can you repeat for chemistry?
I think this question is raised by a chemistry teacher from senior high school. She would like to adopt the project for her class. Maybe you can give the example of the project to be applied in her class for chemistry.
I think I don't know exactly what kind of project hatchery can be applied in chemistry, but it should be there are some cases that can try to solve in this course. For example, they can solve the problem in the stakeholder who are running chemical industries, for example, in Bogasari or something else in Indonesia. Then probably they can select a specific problem, and then the class or all participants of this course, in the chemistry course, can try to solve this specific course. For example, how we could assess, for example, how we could assess or to monitor, for example, or to detect quickly the contaminations, chemical contaminations from the food or water or etc. Because all we know that we would like, if we would like to test the contamination, we should test by using the standard laboratory procedure. So they probably could think about how to solve or how to detect the contamination inside the food. For example, food which contain the hazardous materials inside food or other kind of things. So the hatchery from this chemistry course can try to solve this kind of problems, I think. So probably hope it will answer the questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Agus. Ms. Mayu, maybe you would like to add some answer to the question?
Yes, I totally agree with August. So the main element, you can apply this project hatchery method in several ways and subject-specific courses as well. But the key thing is that the project what students are solving or doing or running during the course, that they are real assignments. So if you find some companies, local companies or something real project, so link into the chemistry, so it's the main thing that the project are real. It increase students motivation.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Mayu. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of session 2. Thank you very much for our 3 presenters and also to all participants. You have been very active during the session. I'm very sorry that not all questions can be discussed also in the session. And may I inform you that today's recorded session will be published tomorrow, and which it can be accessed through our website, webinar.simolec.org, and also all updates and information regarding the first Indopet webinar also can be accessed through that website address as well. And don't forget to fill in and submit questionnaires for all participants. The questionnaire can be accessed through this address, bit.ly/Indopet. Yeah. And tomorrow we will have session 3, inviting 2 presenters, one from Turku University of Applied Sciences and one from Venus University International, discussing about project module methods. So hopefully tomorrow's session would also be as fruitful as today's session. Thank you very much for your attention and for your participation. See you tomorrow and have a nice day.
Iyalah.